moving mountains.
Hello, brethren. Welcome to Sow the Seed. As you can see here, I'm in the mountains. This is the Himalaya Mountains. And it's very cloudy. It's been cloudy since I've been here. And I've not been able to see Mount Everest or any other snow-capped mountain. But it's not been this cloudy the whole time. And I've been able to gaze upon the works of God and to see His creation. You know, He's created these things for us to observe and to learn more of Him and to gain object lessons to understand Him better. You know, when I look at these mountains, it's very big mountains. In fact, this range of mountains has, I think, the top 3, if I'm not mistaken, highest points in the world. These are big mountains. So when I gather an object lesson from the mountains, it reminds me of when Jesus is speaking in Matthew 21. Now it begins, for context, in verse 18. He talks about the fig tree. We're going to begin there. But our focus will be on the part where it talks about the mountain. It says in verse 18, "Now in the morning, as he returned into the city, he hungered. And when he saw a fig tree in the way, he came to it, and found nothing thereon, but leaves only, and said unto it, Let no fruit grow on thee henceforward forever. And presently the fig tree withered away." Now there are many lessons to be taught from just this, but we're not going to focus on that right now. We're going to focus on the next verses. And it says, "And when the disciples saw it, they marveled, saying, How soon is the fig tree withered away? Jesus answered and said unto them, Verily I say unto you, if ye have faith and doubt not, ye shall not only do this which is done to the fig tree, but also if you shall say unto this mountain, Be thou removed, and be thou cast into the sea, it shall be done." Now what is Jesus telling us here? Is He telling us that if we have the right amount of faith and we don't doubt, that we could take a mountain like this and just pick it up, put it in the sea? Is that what He's talking about? Or is He speaking an object lesson, is like we're talking about today, about something spiritual? Of course He's talking about something spiritual. Well, think about it. Do we ever have problems that seem as big as mountains? And just as we could not move these mountains by hand, by our own manpower, those problems we cannot overcome without some help. Jesus is saying that you can overcome those problems. You can make it through. And the key is, verily I say unto you, if you have faith and doubt not. Now, when I think of the gospel, I'm reminded in Ministry of Healing, chapter 30, the first sentence says that the gospel is a wonderful simplifier of life's problems. Well, what is the gospel? Is the gospel just believe that Jesus is God and you'll be saved and everything is just so nice and everything works out just so great? Is that the gospel? Or is there more to the gospel? Yes, part of the gospel is that we have forgiveness for sins. But also, the closing part of the gospel, that finishing part of the gospel, as Jesus is the author and finisher of our faith, He is giving us a new character. He wants to bring us to a point to where we reflect His image. And the gospel tells us that we can trust God with our lives. And if we will trust God with our lives, we can be saved and we can be used by Him to reach so many people. So the gospel is a simplifier of life's problems. Well, let's see in the next verse if we see the gospel. In verse 22, it says, "In all things," how many things? Now, some people look at their problems and they go, you know, Jesus can't help me in this. He's not going to help me in this. He's not going to help me in that. This is too big. You know, I went too far. No. It says here, "And all things." Not some things, not a few things, but all things. "In all things, whatsoever ye shall ask in prayer." Are you praying, brethren? Have we learned how to pray? Are we trusting God? That's part of prayer, trusting God. It says here, in all things, whatsoever you ask in prayer, believing ye shall receive. Does that mean everything? Does that mean that what you and I are struggling with, if we will go to God in prayer, trusting Him and believing Him, we will receive an answer to our problem? Is it possible? My brethren, God is not a liar. He is a God of truth, a God of love, and He will do just what He has promised. And that's just a brief object lesson on this mountainside here. And maybe as I walk back up, you may find another object lesson to look at.